All right, guys. Well, welcome to another episode on the Dom and Josh podcast. Minus Josh today. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, but we have got two very special guests with us. Two trainers that I've been working closely with over the last 2 years at North Para World Gym. We've got Jacob.
How are you guys? Thank you. Thanks.
And we've got Pete.
Right here, flex.
Yep. All right. So, boys, this for those of you, the people that don't know you, just give a little introduction to yourselves. Who are you? What type of people you train? How you train? Anything you're currently training for?
Yep. Okay. So, my name's Jacob, owner of Jacob Age Fitness. I've been a trainer for about, I think, coming up to my 8th year, 9th year. I've competed in a few things. Mainly was that powerlifting stint about 5 or 6 years. I've competed state or local, state, national. Been lucky enough to podium at all three, which is cool. Never got international. Never made the cut. But yeah, coached at many levels as well. So even for like a brief stint, held a deadlift record as a junior, which got broken like 4 months later. So that wasn't great.
Yeah, you had it for a little while. That's all that matters.
I had a deadlift. So I was like 20 years old. I hit 293.
Yeah, wow.
And it got broken like 3 months later, or like
You're
4
warming
months
up
later.
on that now, aren't you?
Not anymore. Back in like peak powerlifting, yeah, but no, now maybe not. But yeah, my training since then, I was going for nationals started last year, ended up breaking my foot playing basketball, and then I kind of derailed from powerlifting during the rehab. So now it's a bit of everything, bit of just regular, I don't want to say bodybuilding, but a bit of regular bodybuilding style. Added a bit of running in there, get the heart healthy a little bit. So
yeah,
but yeah, and the type of clients
on the court, don't worry.
Yeah, he is.
Seen it.
2-time champ.
Yeah.
But yeah, foot's good now. So me and Pete, we play basketball. But yeah, type of clients I train, mainly Gen Pop, but majority of my clientele are like that 30 to 50-year-old male business owners, corporate guys. Might not get out of the office a lot or out of their business a lot. So what I do is I help them outside that, their lifestyle, their training, bit on their nutrition, just managing lifestyle around their business or around their job. So, but yeah, that's me.
Very nice. And Pete?
Cool. Pete Pargu, I'll say it that way. Owner of Ripon Fitness. So for trivia's sake, I live on Ripon Avenue. Very creative. But I'm a physique coach, bodybuilder, bodybuilding coach, or a nice guy, I think.
Good bloke.
Good bloke. No,
Semi-professional basketball player.
No.
One-time powerlifter.
We're gonna. So there is that. Pete does have a funny powerlifting story. He came across to our side for a little while, broke a record. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah.
But a family man, 3 kids, married, all that kind of stuff. So in terms of who I train, I'm known for, I guess, the bodybuilding stuff in the industry because that's kind of my forte, I guess, in that sense. But I train everyone. I train one of my longest standing clients at 81 and 82. They transitioned from doing face-to-face, and when COVID all happened, now just purely doing online 3 days a week with me. So they're still training with me 6-7 years later. I've been doing this full-time going on close to 8 years. I was doing bits and pieces before that. Life before that was in the corporate world for 14 years. We can touch on that a little bit later, but that was majority of my life career-wise. Then went to the dark or the bright side into fitness.
Yeah.
At some point, all I wanted to do was help people train myself. And also, again, further down is to see my kids grow a little bit and have that flexibility and being able to do that. But in terms of competing soon or things that I'm competing on, I'm actually decided to run it back and do a bodybuilding comp, or 3 bodybuilding comps. The first one being in 4 weeks, the WMBF. Then the 2 IFBB natural shows, one in Sydney on the 11th of July, and then the 29th of July in Melbourne, which is the nationals for that. So the IFBB, for anyone knows, is predominantly a untested event, but they've now also ventured out into a natural scene, which means that anyone that's not on performance enhancing can also compete at our IFBB level.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see how it goes. So I'm excited for all of that. To be honest, it's a bit of fun for me.
Nice. Why do you think the IFBB decided to go down having the natural, natural categories?
just my opinion, I think,
Yeah.
or my take on it, is they can see that scene is growing quite a bit. Look, if I do the numbers, there's at least 5 or 6 running at the moment, natural federations, and they're pretty stacked for the most part. They're getting good participation, and I think there's one of the questions later on, but there's also a little bit of shift of how much you can do stuff naturally before
Yeah.
go down that route. So, I think that's why. And also, if you look at their season, it's a filler in between some of the untested events as well. So if you look at where they're calendar-wise, that shows kind of in the bang in the middle of it. With that said, some of the untested or some of the natural guys are doing really well
Yeah, for sure.
in that. So, yeah, I think that's just my opinion on why I think they've gone into that.
Yeah, okay, nice.
Yep.
All right, now I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of structuring training programs for athletes that you might be training for competition. Jacob, you the same, either powerlifting or if you've got anyone kind of looking for physique, but then also looking to work on their fitness and health. Like obviously all three of us enjoy playing basketball, touch footy at times and things like that. But Pete, I'll start with you because obviously you're prepping.
Yep.
How do you juggle prepping for a show when the main goal is purely aesthetic versus wanting to enjoy things outside, like playing a bit of basketball, running around, things like that? How do you structure your training? And then for the same part, if you had a client that was wanting to do the same thing,
Yep.
how do you kind of guide them into either all eggs in one basket, just focus on this, or structuring it around getting a bit of both?
Yeah, good question. I guess it comes down to risk reward type stuff. Personally, I also do things up to the point where it gets pretty nitty gritty. Your energy is a little bit lower. So I'm 4 weeks out. I'll probably cut it to now. I probably won't play any more basketball in the interim, just in case you pull a hammy and things like that, and it goes backwards. But in terms of balancing all that, I'll still keep it as long as possible. I did say 4 weeks out now, but I know at this point that I'm not recovering as well.
Yeah.
Starting to get fatigued a little bit quicker. So all that energy has got to go into my trainings and also my central nervous system. So I'm like looking that if anyone knows, and there will be a few on this call that have done, or on this podcast that have done bodybuilding, you want to preserve as much energy as possible at some point before you're cooking yourself too much. I use the word central nervous system, and I see a lot of people that prep that think, oh, shit, I'll do more steps, or I might tell the coach, but I'll jump on a stepper for another 20 minutes. But at that point, your coach told you not to do that for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I'm not famous for it, but I always tell my clients, hey, I'm not going to ask you to go on a stepper because I know it's quite popular for prepping people to go on there and burn calories. If that's going to cook you, and you're going to feel so fatigued going on a stepper for 20 minutes and burn 200 calories, go for 40.
Yeah.
Podcast on. Go and text a mate while you're walking. That's going to be far more beneficial from a standpoint of that. All your eggs for your energy, I want you that in your training. Yeah. So I guess there's a golden rule for me, even when I prep guys. Okay, if you're starting at your bench at 100, start a prep. If you're benching 60 or 70 by the end of prep, we didn't do it right.
No, something went wrong.
Yeah, something went wrong down the track. Either we cooked you somewhere, or you didn't recover somewhere, or there was nutritionally we just didn't balance it.
Yeah.
Well, so loaded question, but I guess roundabout way, prioritize what needs to happen to have a successful prep. And how that fits in your lifestyle.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob? Because obviously for a powerlifting meet, it's kind of on the flip where you're probably eating more, but obviously you're driving a very high intensity. Like your loads are pretty heavy. You're hitting doubles. You're hitting maybe triples, especially like 8, 6 for 2 weeks out from actually getting on stage. How do you juggle someone wanting to do a strength-based goal like that for a meet, or even just for improving strength, where they know, okay, on this date, I'm going to be trying to hit a 1 rep max or something, but then also trying to juggle, considering that you said before that you train a lot of more businessmen, they're maybe, more socially active, maybe have kids, things like that. How do you juggle them trying to prioritize that goal?
Yeah, like on the prep stage, the powerlifting prep stage, I guess, you're doing preps 12, 16, 20 weeks out. They're not as long as like those bodybuilding where they start like, years of building in phases and cutting in phases or whatever. The good thing about the powerlifting preps is that you have a lot of data that shows fatigue in your programming. Like you're trying to hit numbers at an RPE, at a weight that you've probably planned to hit.
Yeah. And if
it's not a session by session. Like if I give someone a RPE or a certain weight to hit, and they don't hit that, then
you know something's wrong. Yeah.
You know something's kind of happening. So it is a little bit easier to manage week to week basis. But look, a one-off session where someone doesn't hit a number or something's a little bit harder than normal, you don't want to overreact to it. But if it happens 2 times in a week, 3 times, you've probably hit a bit of a wall. And you don't, when you program it right, you don't get that much. But when it does happen, you need to address it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
With those powerlifting clients, because they and I'm speaking from experience. Like I've had a bad prep before, and there is nothing mentally worse than going into a comp and like you haven't hit your numbers that your coach has prescribed, or your stuff's feeling a little bit harder than normal. Like on comp day, you kind of just get in your own head a little bit, and you're like, well, crap, if I couldn't hit it as a single last week, and how am I going to hit it? Like,
and this is meant to be
head, like,
that's the biggest takeaway I took from that is like, I'm going into that show so chilled because I was pissing those numbers.
You're probably cheering.
So I'm just like, I'll do it an opener. In my head, it's like after I did that, I was like, well, the pressure's off. But I was already doing it pretty constant. Again, like bodybuilding is so subjective. That's why I actually love powerlifting. You did or you didn't.
Yeah.
No one can.
Did you hit the number or not?
No one can take it away. Where you go to a bodybuilding complex, like, the hand's a bit runny, probably missed the peak a little bit. So there's so much to go into it. And powerlifting is black and white. I mean, obviously it's more. Yeah, it is more. But you lifted it or you didn't.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
That's 100%. Besides that, you talked about the food at powerlifting.
Oh,
and I was so spun out backstage because you go backstage at a bodybuilding, everyone's doing their rice cakes and their salt.
They got their scales out and they're measuring it up, and it's like they're having a sip of water.
I'm fish out of the water
at
a powerlifting meet, and I'm backstage, and I'm like, so on here. That was Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
The best.
They got the sour lollies out, and sour lollies. People drinking.
It is it's a buffet. Like whatever
people
you
just
can
cramming.
consume, just have it.
Just have it. Yeah.
Have it. Like who cares? Obviously, you got to time it.
But
But
a bodybuilder head in. Like, how about your digestion right now?
Who cares?
How about even putting your belt on properly? That all thoughts went into my head.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to consider that. Anyway, but it was honestly, I enjoy. We'll go back.
I can't wait.
I definitely enjoy it.
I can't wait to wait. Like when I was competing, like after I weighed in, it's like the whole weight of the world just off my shoulders, because like 9 times out of 10 I was probably cutting to get to comp weight.
That point.
Like, crazy amount. Except for one time, but the one time I competed in Melbourne when I was back in 93 kilos, and I like completely messed up not my cut, but I didn't manage my weight right. I didn't manage my weight right, and I ended up having to cut from 98 to 93 the week of comp.
Oh. Wow.
So I flew down to Melbourne. It was a nationals comp. I flew down to Melbourne a day early or 2 days early, and I basically stayed in the sauna like the whole day.
Did you make it?
I got 92.5 or 6.
Yeah, okay.
Worst comp I've ever done.
I was gonna touch on that because was it a 24-hour weigh-in?
No, it's like 2 hours. Like
okay,
not even.
So
2 hours, 2-3 hours.
The comp that I did, it was a 24-hour weigh-in. So you came into the gym the day before, and you did your weigh-in, and then you went in and you did all your rack heights. So your bench rack height, your squat rack height, because it was on a monolift. They got all the numbers for you, and you put them all down. So the simple fact that I had 24 hours to still come back in the next day, and I was like, oh, I weighed in because I competed. The first comp that I did, it was the 100 kilo. And I weighed in on the day before at like 99.8. So I'm like, sick. I can go home. I can just chill out. And then same thing, like on the day, everyone's backstage, everyone's eating everything. People have their meals ready. Like I had pasta. And as well, because like obviously in bodybuilding for a lot of people, if they do multiple shows, they might be there all day.
Yeah.
Same thing on a powerlifting meet. Obviously you got squats first, then you got bench, and then you got deadlift.
Such a long day.
So between your first, second, and third lift, it might be 10, 15 minutes sometimes. And then by the time they get through all the weight classes, men's, women's, juniors, everything, you might be waiting around for another hour, another 2 hours before you lift again. So it's like, I have time to just chill out, eat, get my massage going out, get stretching and whatnot. But yeah, with the like 2 hour weigh-ins or whatnot, and I see this a lot, and especially too, I had mates that cut for fighting. So obviously, like it's a well-known thing in fighting. You fight at, let's say, 63 kilos, or you fight at 70 kilos, but you're probably walking around 10 kilos heavier than that. And I would remember seeing them the week of the fight looking like zombies. I just think, like, how much does that really affect your performance? And then you mentioned you having to do an 8-kilo cut in a week, and you had your worst comp.
Yeah, like
versus
what I was hitting like 2-3 weeks out of that nationals comp, and what I hit on the day was so different.
Yeah,
Like I ended up coming second, but like I think I deadlifted. Oh, I deadlifted 285. That's all I needed to get second. First was like way ahead, so there's no real point trying anything crazy. But I got 285 on my third attempt, and ended up doing my back on the third attempt. I was just so drained, just so like, and powerlifting's such a long day.
yeah,
And you've been under fueled for 5 days or whatever it is. Like, no matter what you eat in that 2 hours, it's not going to make up for the 5 days you had to basically not eat.
yeah, exactly.
And that was like that. I went straight to 105 after that. I'm like, no, I'm never doing that again. I used to walk around about 98, 99, and cut to 93.
Yeah.
After that comp, I'm like, no way. I went straight
see-
to 105 and just sat at 105.
Yeah, especially to being a performance-based sport in powerlifting, I never fully understood people that tried to make those cuts.
Yeah.
And again, when you're pushing that kind of loads, you want your body to be as fueled up and as fresh as possible. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about with both of you, the biggest misconceptions about bodybuilding and about powerlifting. So one of the things for me, for both of them, is the amount of time it actually takes to be good at it.
Oh, yes.
So for both of them, I've spoken to people that they train in the gym maybe 12 months, maybe 18 months, but they don't really follow a program. They're not like really pushing properly. They're not focusing on whatever. And then one of their mates competes and they go to the show and they're watching it and they're like, oh, I can do this. And then they go, I want to get on stage in the next comp, and it's 16 weeks away. And then it's like, I'm going to do it. And it's like, but realistically,
That was me.
that was you, the first time. The first time.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so like, and that's what I've seen, and that was me in my first comp. Like I saw one of my mates did a comp, and I went, and I thought, this is amazing, this is so good, and I was training, but not really specifically for anything. But I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to cut now and get on stage. And I think the next week I went straight to 1,800 calories and sat at 1,800 calories and an hour of cardio every day for 16 weeks and got on stage. I got on stage, but I didn't place. I didn't do well. But it's like that for me is one of the biggest things for bodybuilding. And then in a similar with powerlifting, people don't realize just how much skill it takes to get good and efficient at the lifts.
Yeah.
So they're my probably two biggest misconceptions for both of them. Pete, I'll go to you first for bodybuilding, and then you did powerlifting, so you can even touch on the powerlifting.
But your point about just going to a show and then deciding to do it. So I had injured myself at basketball, and I was training at the gym. If you can call it training, I was at the gym.
I was exercising at the gym.
Pushing weight, all that kind of stuff. Right. Anyway, at that point, it was probably already 3-4 years into the gym, maybe longer. But I had hurt myself at basketball, so tore ligaments in my shoulder. And then I'm like,
You bunking on someone?
No, I got crushed.
It's a pizza fast break.
No.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get it. You cannot catch him.
That thing has been a while. But I remember deciding at the time that my cousin-in-law was competing at a bodybuilding show. It was the A&B back in 2013. You know what? I think I want to go to the show and see if I can do something to maybe get me back training properly, or some sort of motivation to get me back. So I go to this show. It was May. It's May now, right? It's almost what year were we? 2000, nearly 13 years ago, 14 years ago, whatever it was. So I go to the show. I'm watching. I want to do this. I literally walked out. So this is a Saturday or a Sunday. My boss at the time did bodybuilding, funny enough, right? And get this, the lady that sat 2 doors down from me, like seats in a cubicle, she was actually one of their judges. I didn't know this at the time. Yeah. So all the stars aligned, right? Anyway.
And so that's how I became a bodybuilder.
Private.
So I tell my boss at the time, she goes, oh, use my trainer at Fitness First in North Sydney, Elizabeth Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
So I see this guy. The diet I get is a keto diet. Never prepped anyone. Doesn't go to any of my shows. Doesn't know anything about posing. But I do it anyway.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, you still get there.
16 weeks later, I'm doing the Newcastle Classic. It's 4 people. What do you think I come?
Fourth.
All right, good. Even the tanning. Oh, man, it was
It's so bad. It was just, yeah.
It was so bad. No, hold on. I'm actually glad I did it. And this is, I'll make the point about like the misconception stuff. I had no expectation on this show. So I didn't know about any categories. Cool. I didn't even know the poses at that initially. Funny enough, now I do posing coaching. But I think what was successful for me continuing the sport is because I had zero idea of what the sport took at that time. So if I had placed last, which I did, I didn't get disappointed.
Yeah.
All right. It was really
He comes in, wins his first show. This is easy.
Yeah, no, it was really,
I'm the greatest.
yeah, it was really about that because, and this is going to be a loaded thing and relatively controversial, but you see people now doing these shows because they think it's great on socials and
Oh, yeah, that's...
and not place, and they're like, oh, this is not for me. Well, it's not for you because you didn't do it right, or you didn't, again, have the time
to
be
actually develop a
successful in
physique
it,
to, yeah.
to do it, right? Anyway, so come nationals, there was 5, and I beat one guy that was at the time probably 17 years my senior. Didn't look like he trained. So I'll say that in that first season I ever competed, I finished dead last. But the big thing out of that was, cool, I was disciplined for the first time, and I finished this kind of loop of a process. Let's see if I did this properly.
Yeah.
Give me that time, how that goes. So that was 2013. I competed again 2015 or 16. I did not place at the first show coming back, but I did better. Definitely looked better. Then come nationals, I got a second out of 20 odd people in the under 65s. And I think I got a third in the novice. So you're talking about last to national.
Yeah. But there's a 2-year gap. There's a 2-year gap.
Almost 3.
Almost 3 years
Yeah.
to going, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no expectations. Let me go and actually apply myself to this sport properly. Train like a bodybuilder, maybe live the lifestyle
like
of a
one.
bodybuilder,
Yeah.
go through a building phase, and then you get on stage the next time and it's leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it's yeah. But the misconception again is time.
The time it takes to grow
and grow, and also posing for bodybuilders is hard.
That's
Posing's
hard.
100%
It's
hard.
very hard.
It's 100% hard. So posing for a bodybuilder in all categories. I don't care if it's a female, male, across all. And I think how you do these bodybuilding shows. Okay, look, everyone's got their own way of prepping people, but the amounts of time that I see people get underfueled, cook central nervous systems, and again, longer timelines alleviate that. Back when I started, it was 12-week preps.
Yeah.
This is going to be 30, close to 28 to 30 weeks for me.
And you were already...
And you saw me at the start. It's not
Yeah.
like I needed 30 weeks.
Nah,
But
definitely not.
This is, that's probably, and yeah, so you can.
Even on the posing, do you is there one? I don't know much about it. Is there one routine everyone does, or do you do your own? You create your own posing routine.
So as
the
a
actual, what do you
coach watching, or posing coach,
Yeah.
you would have to select different poses and positions for people depending on, I use the word anatomy, because there's guys that will come in that might be a little bit blockier. So in front poses, you might get them to twist a little.
Yeah, you want them to hide their waist or...
Yeah, you do these things where turn your waist a little bit more this way, or
You create an illusion with the physique.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If it's close on stage, someone that poses a little bit better is definitely going to win.
Yeah.
Especially if they're very similar poses. And quick story, I remember nationals, one of my guys, and Jade, if you listen to this, I remember him going for, I'm going to say it was the rookie or novice class. He's gone up and he's missed 2 poses. Legit, he came second. I'm backstage. Jade, what's that? You missed it. Fix that. Fix this. And you'll be fine. Fix those 2 poses. The guy that beat him in that first category did not beat him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That legit was those 2 poses. But again, because I could identify what he missed and
Yeah.
the judges potentially got him on, we're able to adjust it. But yeah, that's kind of my takeaway from a perspective of the misconception on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
even on your point, the time it takes to be good, like on the not the flip side, but on a contrary, that's like That's why I love novice comps in powerlifting. Like they are, because it's no one's really all right. You just go, you give it a shot, you do your 3 lifts. It's a good environment.
Yep.
And everyone gets around each other, and I feel like it's a bit less intimidating than being a first time bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it'd be if you're prepping for 16. If you'd ask someone who kind of trains and you know, maybe they've gone to the gym a couple of years, would you rather prep right now, 16 weeks bodybuilding or 16 weeks powerlifting? I feel like 90% of people would say powerlifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I think
because
so
there's such a, I feel like getting up on stage and posing in front of people and showing off physique,
Yeah.
it can be. I feel like it'd be a lot more intimidating than powerlifting.
Well, I think
You
as
know what I
well, especially like, and coming from doing both, bodybuilding definitely shows off who's one stuck to their plan,
Yeah.
and who truly worked hard at what they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
You can't half-ass
And
prep and get on
Not
stage. Like,
look, you can, and you see it. Like there are
Yeah.
sometimes, especially like some of the bodybuilding shows that I've been to, you go there and you can tell someone just wanted to get on stage. And
Yep.
and look, I don't want to knock any coaches that might do this, but I know you've had the conversation with people where they're like, I want to do a comp, and you say you're not ready.
Yep.
Like, because at the end of the day, that's your name on that athlete getting on stage. I feel with a powerlifting comp, if someone came to me and they're relatively new to the gym, it's like, hey, I want to get strong and I want to compete in a powerlifting comp. It's like, all right, let's look at some dates. Okay, there's this competition in 20 weeks. If you just want to get on stage and experience it, like we're not trying to break any records, we're not looking to get a place in your weight category or anything like that. Let's just get you good at squatting, good at benching, good at deadlifting. We'll get you strong across the board, and we're gonna have some fun.
Yep.
And then maybe they go, oh, I really enjoyed that. I want to go to a higher level. So okay, well, to get to that higher level in your weight category, these are the numbers you got to be hitting. So how long is it going to take us to get your bench from 100 kilos to 140, to get your squat from 120 to 200? You know what I mean? Because like if you want to be competitive in this sport, that's what you need,
Yeah.
right? So you can. Whereas I guess in bodybuilding, it's like if you get the judges' feedback and you go, oh, this person needs to really develop their delts. Go back to your coach, like, I need bigger delts. So, all right, well, to build your delts is going to take this much time. Like, we have to spend that time doing that. So
even the vibe in the powerlifting comps from novice to
I love it.
like
yeah, those are loud.
I love it. And to your point, so to interrupt and you made a point about everyone gets around it.
Oh.
You go to a bodybuilding show and look, they cheer for who they want to win, like their family and stuff like that. Just a little few claps here and there. But the powerlifting comp, everyone wants you to lift that.
Yeah.
for
Especially
everyone.
I feel like
whatever's on there,
deadlifting,
we want you to lift that.
Deadlifting, I love the fact that the deadlift is last, although it's the most taxing. It probably shouldn't be last. When you step up to that bar, like everyone's just so up, like everyone's just so G'd up and ready to go. Yeah,
Or
I
you do
did
all
bench
three.
only,
You bench only.
Yeah, I did bench.
There's nothing like, and you can second this, like walking up to the bar and like for that like 1 minute that you're on the platform or give or take, it's like it's the most important thing in the world. Like everyone's looking at you.
yeah.
I don't lift this, like I'm screwed. But like
Fear of failing.
like everyone's looking.
And then the most nerve-wracking thing is when you turn around and look at the board and wait to see the lights come on, and there's a delay. Like, why is there a delay? Did I lift it or not?
No, even another like misconception to answer your OG question. I feel like a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but there would be a misconception that powerlifting is like a lazy sport, and I feel like it is. Yes, you do see some stereotypes, and like people make videos. All right, bringing their lounge chairs out between like the sets and eating between sets and stuff. But I mean, like when I was that was some of the hardest training like I had ever done.
Yeah.
Like those longer primary days or even off-season volume, like those are pretty hard sessions, and it takes a certain type of person to mentally be like, all right, for the next two and a half hours, which is roughly how long it goes for.
The sessions are
Like,
long.
All right, I'm gonna stay switched on, lift to the like this is what I have to hit, and I know I have to hit it. Like it's actually pretty mentally fatiguing.
It can be, especially like I used to always find as well. I have never been good at volume.
I hate it.
I'm not a big fan of volume. So anytime like the rep schemes were like, you need to do like 8s. I'm like, God damn, like 8. I don't fuck. But then the days of 3, I'm like, yes, come on, give me a 3x3 any day of the week.
Just set it up, yeah.
Right. And it's
I
like,
found it the hardest to go that way.
yeah.
By the way. Yeah.
Oh, you got the background of the body before.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm better at volume.
Yeah.
than
Well, your training split now, like watching you train, it is heavy, like it's high volume,
Yeah.
but that's just what you're good at.
Yeah.
Whereas even like I know for myself, and I program for myself, and I'll program sets of 10, sets of 12, even sometimes sets of 15. And I look at it, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Like, well, I'm stupid. But then you get through it, and I know there's the benefits of it. But then I'm currently coming to the back end of a strength phase, and I've been doing more 5s, more 3s.
Yeah.
The other day we just tried to hit a double, and I was like, this is what I remember. This is what I really enjoy training. So off the back of that, I actually wanted to speak about that, especially for your clients. Do you have a general rule of thumb on how you're going to program sets, rep schemes, exercise selection for the bulk of your clients, but then change it up depending on the specific goal, or is everyone specific? And what I mean by that is like you got someone that comes in, maybe they want a bit of general strength, they want a bit of general fat loss, so your nutrition, you give them that, whatever. But it's like, okay, the main style of your program is going to be like a 4x8 or Pete, like you might go like more heavy on I want 3x12, but we're going to do 7 exercises instead of 5, but do more sets. Like, do you have a general rule of thumb for your programming, or do you change it up?
I would change it up quite a bit, dependent on the individual, because I've got a pretty big breadth of different types of clients that I'll need to look at. Obviously, you asked about injuries, also preference. I will not go give someone deadlifts if they hate it, right? So that's the first question. What do you like? Unless they're like totally taking the piss and they just don't want to do anything, all right?
You're 3x20.
That's I'll definitely look at what the mix is and what the goal is, and take this as a soundbite. But I think too many coaches give their clients programs because they do it.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, I won't give someone just because I do. Do I expect someone to do what I do? Possibly not. No. What will get them the best outcome for them to get them back in the gym? Because I've been there where I look at my program, I'm like, fuck, bro, I really don't want to go and do that. Knowing that I've fucking tore it up last time, how much more am I going to do on that machine or on that weight? I'm like, fuck. So there's a little bit, I know if anyone's listened, they've had training anxiety. I don't know if you've ever felt it, where you're like, I've had it with a pendulum.
Yeah.
And you've seen me go at that pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
That pendulum.
I've had you on that pendulum with
cool.
the newbie.
And I'm like, fuck, I eat 3 plates the other day for like 10 to 12. I'm like, fuck, I got to do it again. Do I expect to get 13?
Or put 3.5 plates on it?
So I'm sometimes thinking about it 2 days before. I'm not lying. But to your point, I will be very specific in the individual for the best outcome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, even piggybacking off that, like a lot of the, like even my one-to-one sessions, the programming I do for those, obviously based on the goal. You know, if they're powerlifters, we train like we program for powerlifting. But for like most of my gen pop, it's more so obviously the split matters, how many days they're doing, how many sessions a week with me, without
even
me.
time, right?
Literally 45. Is it half an hour? Is it
Right.
45? Is it 1 hour? That all really matters, especially in the one-to-one sessions, because you don't want to let it get off track.
Off track, yeah.
But yeah, even for like most of my sessions are 45 minutes. So if they're with me in 45 minutes, you know, I'll always try and put in a main, or have like a main lift for that day.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be deadlift, it doesn't have to be squat, it doesn't have to be bench, whatever. But something heavy at the start or semi-heavy at the start where they see it on the program and they get a little bit excited to do it.
Yeah.
Like they're like, all right, this is the one week to week. I want to really, by 5 weeks or 6 weeks or 4 weeks, how long the block is, I want to hit something really good on this by the end of the block.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's the main one after a good warm up. You take that. That's your main lift.
Yep.
You know, put a lot of, and take good rest, really focus on it. Like I try and have one of those each session with a one-to-one, even on training on their own.
Speaking of reps,
Like,
I'm sure you've all had clients that, especially new ones, that never trained properly.
oh man, I know.
Or they'll do a set,
Yeah.
and then they'll like rest 10 seconds, and they'll start doing it. I'm like, whoa.
Bro, hang
Yeah.
out, like
Right.
it's all right.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And especially with those clients, because obviously form-wise, they're not going to be lifting
Yeah.
with the greatest form. So it's like, I could just load the weight up, so you have to take the rest
Yeah,
because you're so
right.
gassed. But then it's also, am I giving you just the weight so you have to rest?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, go get a drink, go walk over to the bubbler, or like that's sometimes what I like to, like one of the things I like to use is upper lower supersets,
Yeah.
especially on a client that will do full body days.
Yeah, of course.
So you can kind of go, okay, if you're going to do, let's say, a chest press, we're going to superset it with walking lunges. So at least by the time you
Yeah.
get over to the track, you do the lunge, by the time you get back,
Yeah.
it's okay. At least the chest has had a 90-second, 2-minute
Rest,
rest.
yeah.
So it's like, and you can almost just keep them moving.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I like to do, especially for those clients that don't that won't sit still.
Yeah.
They'll just want to
Well,
keep
there's plenty
going.
of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard.
All right. What do you think powerlifters could benefit from the bodybuilding world? And then I'll ask you the same thing on the flip side. Because I know for me, when I was competing in powerlifting, I never trained arms. Like biceps and triceps were never a staple of my training.
Should be.
That was never. It was never in my programming. So doing things like rear delts, like they were always in there. Doing a little bit of shoulder work, that was always in there. But very rarely, or like maybe hammer curls, but never any specific arms was ever in my powerlifting program. So for me, I think training arms is really important. And even if it's training triceps to the lower rep ranges, like actually trying to build a lot of strength purely in isolated tricep exercises. But that's for me, one of the things that I think that powerlifters could benefit from is just more arm training.
Yeah,
But-
that's definitely one of them. Like triceps matter in the bench press.
100%.
Like they matter. Like don't ignore them.
Yeah.
And they're good for physique wise as well. But
Yeah.
apart from the arm training, probably do a bit of cardio. Like no, honestly, like
No, I know.
do a bit of cardio. You don't have to sprint 5Ks. Like don't have to go crazy with it, but just do something that gets your heart rate up a little bit because you're taking long breaks and your heart rate comes all the way down.
Yeah.
All the way down.
But even just having a better cardiovascular base is going to just improve your recovery.
100%.
So then you might not have to rest 4 or 5 minutes between a set. You might actually be able to spend a little bit less time.
Even outside training, just
Go
train
for a
your
walk.
heart. Like
Go for a walk.
go for a walk. Like
I actually think it gets
be
you an
healthy.
I actually think it gets you an extra rep or two on those hard sets.
100%.
yeah. Even and the deeper you get in powerlifting without doing that, the harder it's going to be to crawl yourself out.
Yeah.
Like, don't do 30 minutes stairmaster every day. Just
You don't have
do
to go run a
something.
half marathon, but yeah,
just
like
do
be just,
something. Like I wish I started doing cardio earlier in powerlifting. 'Cause
Yeah.
Now I'm
I've
trying
seen
to
you play
catch up.
basketball. You get pretty hard.
Now I do because I started
I
running.
can actually run.
But like back in the day, like 5 minutes and I'm like,
Sup?
please.
He's the impact player. Comes
Yeah,
in,
like-
makes 3 shots, gets off.
100%. Like, but yeah, like just start it a bit earlier, and it's not gonna hinder your performance.
Nah.
Not even too much. It's not gonna hinder it.
I think that's another misconception that we probably didn't touch on is that cardio is going to kill your strength gains.
Nah, no way.
No, it doesn't.
And good first question. Back to misconception. But now, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's more aesthetic powerlifting now. Like where guys aren't as heavy or I use the word sloppy in physiques because you get these jokes about
Oh
like
man.
not being like
Well, when I look at some of the powerlifters that are kind of maybe 105 and under, they're jacked.
Yeah.
Like these guys are
got
ripped,
muscle.
and
They
like
have muscle.
they take their shirts off, and it's like you honestly look like you could get on a bodybuilding stage.
Yeah.
You just fine tune a few things, but yeah. So some of those lighter guys, obviously you got the super heavyweights, like those guys that are they're squatting 400 plus kilos, and
you need
you need the
yeah.
mass. So like that's different. But I've seen some 105 kilo guys, even some under
90,
110 kilo.
90s, yeah.
The 93 kilo guys are jacked.
Yeah.
Like there's no fat guys in
Especially the
that.
shorter guys.
Ugh,
They're
yeah,
like
they're
they're
little
just
bricks.
built
Different.
different, just full of muscle. Like it's ridiculous. But
Yeah. And what do you think on the flip side?
For bodybuilding.
Yeah, do you think bodybuilders could benefit from powerlifting style training or strength based training?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back yours, I'm sorry. Definitely from doing both. My accessory stuff, because I go hard out even on my accessories, that definitely helped me with the powerlifting because I had strong delts, strong arms from bodybuilding stuff. But from a powerlifting perspective, dude, I was still always trying to hit 1RMs too. You've seen that at the gym. I still trained like, for the most part, now I understand that I probably was training like a little bit like a powerlifter anyway.
you're lifting pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing 3x3s, 5x5s, 1RMs every now and then. I'll just do a back down and just go,
And then do your
let's just see how many I can get out. So there was always, I think on one of my programming, I would go work up to a 1RM and then my back down's like, okay, let's see how many I can do for like 120, right? So I think bodybuilders, how am I going to say this? They label themselves bodybuilders and they won't do shit that's necessary to get stronger.
Yeah.
Even form-wise, I watch it and look again, each their own. Fuck, who cares about that 100% perfect form? Yeah, you get sloppy on the 10th, 9th rep. So be it. But I think there's too much of a like, oh, it needs to be this friggin'...
Too much like trying to get
It has to be like
look,
perfection. But some of my stats at the back end of that 9th, 10th rep, I'll be a little bit sloppy. It wasn't bad, But fuck, if I want to get that weight up, I'm gonna need a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think as well, just having more strength just gives you a better base to then even do volume. You know what I mean? Like if you're let's say, you can bench 100 kilos and that's your 1 rep max, and then you want to do 80%. Okay, that's 80 kilos. But if you can only bench 80 and then you want to back down and do 80%, well, that's like 64 kilos. So it's like one is going to grow more muscle at the same rep range because there's just more load. So it's like get stronger, spend a bit of time getting strong, and then that's actually going to help you benefit.
Yeah. I talk to my clients about that all the time. I said, well, look, if you do 64 kilos for 15, 20 reps, whatever it is, that means you can do 80 if we tested your 1RM. Oh, is that right? Because, there's a conversion chart. So that then takes that angst that, okay, if I go on a lower, because some people have ego, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You take the weight down a little bit. I'm like, no, I can do it. I'm like, no, I know you can. But right now we're trying to do this for your programming. Yeah. So I think that's a little bit of getting to understand that the number is less important than what we're trying to do in that set.
Yeah. Even in some instances, if you're trying to take the weight lower, they think it's like an insult to them. Oh, you don't think I can lift this? It's like, no, like, okay, you can lift this, but we want to get you stronger, so we're going to push you back.
Or work on your tempo, because that was a little sloppy.
A bit of variation.
Kind of
You
right
know what I mean?
now.
Yeah.
They take it like the wrong way.
Yeah.
And like, I understand why. Like, someone told me, like, if I just did a set of 100 and someone dropped me back down to 90, but like,
Why? What did I do?
What
What did I
did
do
I do
wrong?
It's like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't do anything wrong.
I've been dropped as a coach because
like-
I told them they're not ready for comps.
Yeah. But I think that's ego. I think that's an
Yeah.
ego thing going, why do you think I'm not ready? It's like, because, XYZ, I've been in the sport for this long and I know what the judge is going to be looking for, and you do not fit that category yet.
But then it comes on us to explain why we're doing what we're doing. Like you could have easily taken that client to comp and they would have paid for your training. They would have paid for it. But like, it's not in your, it's not, and they're going to come out worse after that comp.
I knew what his expectation was.
He wanted to win.
Wanted to do well. Well, right now you're not
Going to do well.
Yeah. I'm like, I know. Like, I can sit there and be basically a fifth judge on the side there and pretty much get it pretty good. Like, relatively accurate.
Imagine what they feel after they do that comp and they didn't do well, and then now you're the coach that took them to the comp.
You took them to the comp and took their money.
Didn't do well. Like now you're that like.
Well, I recently had a client that was prepping for a competition, and he's a lawyer, and it got to the point where he was about between 14 and 12 weeks out, and looking at like his weight and his photos, his body really wasn't changing the way we needed it to. And then I'm looking at how much training he's trying to do, and then how his calories are at. I'm like, bro, we're getting into a really dicey situation here, and I don't want to keep pushing you. And then plus he's doing like 16, 17-hour days because his firm's got this massive court case and he's putting in doubles. And I'm like, listen, I know this is something that you really want, but your life right now is not ideal for getting on stage. And I can say to you, try and do this, try and do that, but then, you're missing your sessions because you're not sleeping. You're getting 2 hours of sleep, and then I expect you to wake up and go do a 2 hours or an hour and a half session at 6 a.m. and push. And then you're not doing your cardio because you're in the office, and then you're missing meals because you're behind your desk. It's like, this isn't right for you right now. And I just want to be honest with you. If you want to try and get on stage, I don't think it's a right idea. And he honestly said, he's like, thank you for being honest with me. I was nervous about saying the same thing to you. I'm like, but I don't want to force you into doing something that isn't going to get a good result. Yeah. Plus, I also don't want you being, gassing you out with dropping your calories low and getting you dollars to training. When you've got a multi-million-dollar court case coming up, I need you to focus on your job.
It's a bit more important than than your chest.
Your first ICN show, or this major court case that could win your client millions of dollars. Let's weigh that up a little bit. It's a tough one, but I think
that medal. That means
I'll buy you one. I'll go buy you a medal.
Too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
no, but good on you for kind of having that discussion, because I don't think many people will, and not to knock coaching in general in this space at the moment. It's about me, not my client.
Yeah.
So if they do well, straight on the gram, I'm posting up. Oh, they won. They came sick. And a lot of the time, it's like there was one person, there was two people. Like, how about disclosing that too? Like,
show the whole lineup.
Like, oh, my client won the novice category. I'm like, cool. I was at that show.
Tell them.
person. But
Oh God.
open up and say that. No, I get everyone's got to eat, but there's got to be some ethic in terms of how you do it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm
No,
just-
you're right.
No, you're right.
You got to
Off
give
the back
people
of that, though,
the whole picture.
I did that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, no.
One of my
Sorry,
guys.
Dom, it wasn't you.
No. Okay. One of my guys, he competed and he came first in first timer category.
Yeah.
He was the only person.
Yeah, okay.
But then he came second in the novice category where there were 6 people.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, okay, I'm still claiming he got a first.
Yeah, okay. He got first.
He got a first and a
can't take
second.
that
I
with
said he got a first and a second on his first comp.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But I was like, I'm taking the gold, even though you're the only competitor. I'm taking it. But then he came second out of 6. So I'm like, okay, like that one is like, but yeah, I did do that. I'm not going to lie on that one. But speaking of clients, what's your favorite type of client to train?
My favorite type of client.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend anyone. Nah,
Offend.
yeah.
Just do it.
No, honestly, the clients I enjoy training are the ones that have a buy-in or they care about their training enough to ask you questions, to ask, why am I doing this? Why can't we do this? Should I do this on this day? Because it shows that they actually give a shit about
And they want to
training.
learn
they
as
wanna
well.
learn.
Like, yeah.
They want to learn about the trend, they care, and they actually value your opinion and they value what you're giving them. Because like I've had clients that kind of blindly follow programs.
Yeah.
And I've had clients that want to have an active discussion about their program.
Yeah.
And I enjoy training the ones that want to have that discussion about their training and life and nutrition, whatever. Because it feels like they're a bit more involved. There's a bit more buy-in because they've played a role in picking their exercise, or if they have an exercise preference, say, hey Jacob, like, can we swap this out for this? Like, I quite like that. And
Yeah.
you'll have like some coaches might not like talking to their clients a lot and having to change the exercises and having to change days around. But if someone messages me and says, hey Jacob, like, can we move this day to this day? I've got X, Y, Z on. Cool. Yeah, I'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
it shows me you're thinking about it. You're actively engaged.
It also
in the
shows
program.
that
like,
you weren't just giving him shit that is a cookie.
A cookie
Kind
cutter
of approach,
program.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But
Like,
and I like that point too. It's like if a client actually messages you and saying, hey, like, I know I've got 4 days this week or whatever, or it's like, I'm meant to do chest tomorrow, but I got business, I got this, I got that. What can I do instead? How do I manage that? How do I manage that? It's like, awesome. You're like you said, you're thinking about what's coming up and if I miss that session, is that going to impact me, or where can I put it in, or how do we change the day after when I'm meant to be doing back? It's like, okay, just put do the first half of the chest session, do the first half of the back session on the same day.
yeah.
And you'll be
I'd
sweet.
rather them
You know what I mean?
ask me, hey, can I move it to this day, or can I do this? Then
Then
skip the session and then
come in the
give
next,
them for 5 days.
and then come in the next week and it's like, hey, what happened on this day? It's like, oh, this happened. It's like, oh, tell me.
Yeah,
please.
Like,
I wanna know.
I quite enjoy that back and forth, just ironing things out and getting it right.
100%.
Like,
Probably very similar to yourself. I'm one of these people that if I can see an athlete or a client that gives all in for themselves, I'm doubling down. Right. So when I say doubling down, I'm going to give you whatever I've got
yeah,
and probably a little bit more, because I know you want it as much as I want it for yourself. On the flip side, you get these clients that just don't really do what you ask. I'll give you also what I've said I'll give you, but don't ask me to do anything. I wouldn't say anymore. It is going to sound wrong, but and it doesn't have to be just training. This is life in general. So I see someone come up to me and say, Pete, I want to know how you did this, because I think you're cool. This guy's interested in getting better. I'll actually go out of my way.
Yeah.
Where if you're like, why am I going to make an effort if you're not making an effort for yourself? Is my thought. And you both know Steph at the gym. She's all in. Like, we're like, okay,
That's an understatement.
I'm like, all right, cool. I want you to do this, and this is what we're doing. Cool. I'm not second guessing that's gonna happen, and she'll probably like this story. So I started her prep. So she actually won her first show last week, but she started prep in November, late November. We had a team dinner for the guys that we had competed, and she was kind of involved in that. It was literally day 1 or day 2, and she would not touch anything at this Japanese place. So,
oh man,
Day 1 of the prep, she's
Day one of
so
the
switched
prep,
out. She's like,
right.
no.
I literally, and if she hears this, she'll remember it. I put food on the plate. I said, you're all right to have this. You can eat
she
that.
needed you.
Yeah, like otherwise,
tell her.
no,
Did
no,
she?
no. Yeah, she.
Oh,
Sure she
okay.
did, but
I don't
after
think
that
I don't
point,
think it affected her too much. She still won like every
Oh,
she
bro.
did.
That was an understatement.
Yeah, but they're the clients that I know want to get better and are curious, asking questions.
Yeah.
And they already have all the talent in the world, and they still want to get better. They're the ones that you really want to, really want to drive for.
Yeah. And that's even like, not even for a client perspective, but some people have asked me like, oh, if you see someone doing something in the gym that's wrong, will you go tell them? I'm like, no. Even if I'm wearing my uniform. The only time I'll go and say something is if I see them doing something that is dangerous. Like if their squat form is horrible or their deadlift form is horrible, that's probably the only time I'd ever approach someone in the gym. And people ask why. And it's like, well, if they want my opinion, they'll ask.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be that guy that comes up and gives his 2 cents to a person I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you had it the other day.
Yeah.
Someone came up to you and said you need to train your upper body better.
Jeez.
Right? Like,
Were you wearing 5 layers? Like what? Like couldn't see.
I was wearing what I normally wear.
Yeah.
right? So like, so someone comes up to Pete, doesn't know him, and says, "Oh, you need to train your upper body better." It's like, take your shirt off. See who needs to train their upper body better. Like,
I was a little bit shocked.
you know,
I thought it
you
was
know what I
quite
mean?
nice.
It's like, so like, I
You had a
won't.
really good session that day.
Yeah.
He trained really hard that day.
I won't give my opinion to someone unless they ask. And same thing with clients. Like obviously I'm trying to teach them and things like that. But if they're asking more questions, I have a client that messages me all the time. She's like, she's got the Hume band. So every week, it's like the Whoop, but it's a different version. She sends me her like all her stats. So every week it gives an update.
Yes.
You know, so she sends me all her stats, and then in our session we talk about them, and she just loves it. And I was like, she's an absolute gem to train. She's 75 years old. She's an absolute gem to train.
But back to we had the exact same question I got was, do you go and correct someone on the gym floor? And my whole thing was, as trainers, a lot of the time, if you go and approach someone, they think you're trying to sell them a personal training. Or
Don't mind me. I need to move a client back.
Yeah. This is good discussion here, Jacob. But yeah, but I'm 100% into your point where I won't do it unless it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now I want to move into a little bit of nutrition. We won't harp too much on this because this could be a podcast on its own, just talking about nutrition. But do you guys recommend supplements to clients?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like obviously like protein, creatine, whatever, like you can recommend those as part of a plan or whatever. I won't recommend someone pre-workout if I didn't think they could, or if I didn't think they needed it. Like I've had a client for 6 years or 7 years and he's never taken pre-workout before.
Yeah.
Trains with me 5 days a week, 6:30 every morning, and he does not take pre-workout. And I've asked him why, because people train with us, around us, and they're taking pre-workout, talking about pre-workout. And he's like, I don't know, never started.
Don't feel I need it.
Don't know what I'm missing out on. I'm not interested in it. I'm like,
Sick.
enough. Like,
It's getting expensive too these days.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
some of them are ridiculous.
Yeah.
but like,
So yeah, I'm a team no pre-workout. I don't pre-workout. I'll have a coffee in the morning, and if I'm training in the middle of the day, I still don't have pre-workout. It'll be possibly some good food before, at least something, hydrated, and I do put some citrulline malate and beta-alanine in a Gatorade, which is basically a pre-workout without.
Oh yeah,
Without
the caffeine.
Yeah.
yeah. And if a client's taking 300-400 milligrams of caffeine for a 6 a.m.
Yeah.
sessions, and then they're going to like a corporate job or they're running a business, chances are they're probably going to crash out at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And if you're running a business or if you're in an office, like now your training is affecting your work. Like now what you do in the gym is now affecting your.
Well, it's funny enough, if someone takes pre-workout or enough of it and they're an anxious person to begin with, they actually can spiral into more anxiousness.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so people got to be careful with
You'll be
that.
really careful. And then
as
some
well,
people
right?
don't realize as well that they, if they're training in the afternoon or their midday training sessions, and they might have 2 or 3 coffees beforehand, and then they go and smash 200 milligrams of pre-workout,
Like sleeping.
and they go, "Why can't I sleep at night?" It's like, oh, let's have a look, really.
Yeah, let's have.
let's actually go. What's actually like how much caffeine is actually getting into your system?
Yeah.
All right, so that's done the pre-workout. Anything else like multivitamins? You guys go down the vitamin D. Do you guys go?
Vitamin D for me is my stack that I usually recommend is creatine, fish oils, vitamin D. Maybe for intra if they don't do any of the substances, citrulline malate, good hydration, and maybe something like magnesium-based sleep thing.
Yeah.
Basic stuff. Everything else, you should be eating well, and then you get all your micros. You
Yeah.
sleep.
No, that was going to be my next part. Is then for nutrition, Are you guys giving just basic calories? Are you giving full food plans? How do you guys kind of structure around that? Because I've had like obviously different people. It's obviously for my business and the way I coach people, it's all included. But then I obviously ask the question, like, do you want me to give you a full nutritional plan? Are you going to follow it?
Yep.
Or do you want me to just basically give you your macros and then you can kind of fill in the gaps and I can sit with you and I can help you work it out?
Yep.
Yeah, I take that approach more often than not.
Yeah.
And obviously it comes down to scope of work as well. If you don't have that nutrition certification,
yeah, true.
you can't legally if shit hits the fan and like something happens to a client and you've given them a meal plan and they don't.
Yeah. How much does that happen in the industry? I've got my insurances to deliver meal plans, but how much? Again, controversial take, but even in the online space, how many people are doing that?
So many.
Bro, like, how many people in the online space don't have their cert 3 and 4?
Exactly. Oh,
But
right?
Look,
It's like,
I'll be until 7 o'clock.
yeah, look, I'm not, again, like everyone needs to eat, but there's got to be some duty of care with a lot of this stuff. And I personally, this is my, what's the word I'm looking for? What I think something like an online space like Instagram has got to do is for you to get a blue badge to say you're a real person. Why don't you put a green badge to also say that you are qualified to be able to deliver that service that you're promoting?
yeah, that'd be amazing.
Do you know what I mean? It wipes out quite a bit of a lot of people, for one.
Yeah.
It could potentially create another industry where people have to get a qualification in that to be able to do it and actually force them to know how to deliver that stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think half the reason why people don't get the certs and whatever is like clients don't really, not they don't care about it, but it's not something they're thinking about when picking a coach. You know what I mean? Then they're more likely to judge you based on your physique or your client's physiques.
Yeah.
I wonder if the guy's actually like qualified to give me a meal plan.
Yeah.
Like, or does he just look really good and he's really strong, so I'm going to listen to what he says.
but this thing that's really the reality.
Yeah.
Oh, this person looks good, and they also look at this person that looks good online and didn't realize that they could be on enhancements to potentially get to that stage, because no one really declares it ever.
No.
And I don't know if this is a question later on, but yeah, in terms of my approach with nutrition, same. What works for you? Do you want me to give you a meal plan? I generally say if I give you a meal plan, I want to give you 2-3 days and you go and try and select foods yourself based off this, because I want them to be able to self-navigate and not just rely on that meal plan.
Because then down the track, because off the back of that, down the track, if you have someone that has been blindly following a food plan and one day they choose not to train with you, then what? They don't have, they haven't learnt anything. So I kind of take the approach of, one, depends on the person. Two, one of the big questions that I ask, especially to working in the gym that we work at, we get quite a lot of varied ethnicities in the gym. So like I've got a husband and wife that Indian, the vegetarian. So it's like, I can give you some good food ideas that will fit into your lifestyle, but I want you to then go off and go, okay, if that's a high protein, like a vegetarian high protein dish that is more tailored towards an Indian style culture, I know they're good dinner options. These are good lunch options. These are good breakfast options.
100%.
Same thing with some of the Middle Eastern clients. It's like, okay, especially the men. So who does the cooking at home? Like, who's going to do the meal prep? And like,
they don't know.
I know, you know what I mean. So I know that can be a bit. You know, people say, it's 2026. You should be doing your own food prep, but whatever. If you're not doing the cooking at home, you're not doing the shopping. It's like, okay, I need to figure out what foods are coming into your household. Like, what's in your fridge? How can we create something around that? So it's like I ask those questions and kind of get that.
Like even on that, the software I use for my PT, it's got this it's got a food journal on it. So what I do with people and to get an idea of what they're currently doing, like before any nutritional advice, milk, whatever, 1 week food journal, like strict, show you everything.
Yeah, I do
now?
photos.
Like,
I get people to take photos and send it to me.
It's photos. Like you upload photos to this journal, and so you just scroll through their whole week's worth of food.
Like, and then you kind of get a rough idea.
Do you reckon they're 100% all the time?
No.
So one thing that I found, especially like,
really good.
Funny enough, the first day of the food journal, now you're eating like rice and chicken, huh? Like,
Sure. Yeah, one thing I noticed definitely with the food journal, it was people definitely stopped snacking on the little things. It's like
the guilt
that little chocolate. Because I would say that it's like anything that you eat or anything that you drink that has calories in it, I just want to say
Yeah.
I've had like half-eaten sandwiches. Oh, I got halfway through it and I took the photo. It's like half or 3/4 of it. Like how big was this sandwich actually? But then it's like, they stopped having that like one little lint ball or that one Ferrero share. So it's like getting them to do that. It's like it already kind of changes that habit. And then you see on the weekend, there's a couple beers or a couple of wines that kind of pop up.
Yeah.
All right. This one, we don't have to talk too much about it. I just wanted to kind of touch on it briefly. This is one of the questions that somebody actually asked to talk to you both about. It's in the peptide and steroid realm.
Yep.
Now, I've been as a PT 14 years, so a little bit longer than you guys. In my early days of PTing, like the first kind of 4 years, nobody on social media was on gear. Everybody was natural. You couldn't hear anybody talking about it in the gym. You'd look at people and go, how is this guy not on? Like, how? This is impossible, right? But it was so taboo to talk about. Nobody spoke about it. Nobody was on. Nobody was getting the athletes to do it unless it was like behind 3 closed doors. Now, I feel like you can't walk through the gym without hearing somebody talking about what they're running, what gear they're on, whatever. Why do you think, two-part question, why do you think that shift has happened? And did you guys notice that when you both first started in the industry, not training, but as a PT? And why do you think it's becoming so popular for the younger generation to do it?
Yeah, definitely over the 8 years I've been a PT, like those first couple of years, like even if you ask someone if they're on something, it's like an insult. Like they almost get offended. It's like they don't want to tell you, or they are on it and they don't want people to know about it.
Yeah.
But like, and you can second this for sure. Like as of late, like
Pretty normalized,
it's
right?
pretty normal. Like it's pretty open in discussion. It's pretty open in the gym. It's pretty open even online. Like people are selling it through their bloody Instagram stories. Like,
Not
like,
just males, females
Yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah.
it's so I don't want to say accepted because people obviously have their opinions on it, but it's so out there, free for discussion.
Yeah.
And like personally, I'm not against peptides. I don't use them. I never really, not that I don't have to, but I don't. What for?
Yeah.
I'm not eating anything. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
But I think if you are going to use them, obviously number one, like get it from someone or somewhere you trust, or something with just somewhere. And obviously do your own research. Don't just blindly listen to what your fellow gym goers are saying, because they know just as bad as, well, they could know nothing for all you know.
I'll ask the guy that
know
said,
what I mean?
I got a small upper body.
Yeah. What should I take
Yeah.
to get bigger?
But I think the biggest thing is like, and it's, I don't know if this won't come out wrong or not, but earn the right to use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just, if you signed up to a gym 2 weeks ago and someone tells you to jump on peptide, like, all right, you signed up 2 weeks, get into the gym, get a lifestyle, build your habits first, then worry about peptides.
Maybe worry about,
Like, if you learn to ride a bike and you're gonna go freaking get a motorbike just because it's faster than the bike? No, you're not. Like, you could learn how to ride the bike first, and then worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, just earn the right to use it, and like, it's not an easy shortcut as people think it is. You still have to train.
You still got
You still got to put the work in. Yeah, you still got to diet properly.
You
And
still have to do all these other things, and I think that's another thing where someone's like, "Oh, I jumped on Reddit and I lost 5 kilos in a week." Like, bro, just jump on. Like it's not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I think, and I think a lot of that stuff, if you're going down that path, you've got to think about, is it my only single form of getting to that point, or this is where it starts and then I can continue on? Yeah. So if you're like using Reddit to lose weight, right? For example, and I don't even know that much about Reddit, is I know it represents the appetite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's say it does that and you're losing weight. You've got to get out of that knowing that once I stop it, I want to continue these habits.
yeah.
And then continue on with it. Otherwise, if you're relying on it, then you're obviously going to go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, is my take on that. Yeah.
even with traditional steroids, like you see people that, or people that have been on for so long, they jump off everything, and it's like 1 month, and they've reverted back to not their old ways, but they're either a lot bigger and put on a bit more body fat, or they're just not as strong, or and it can actually affect them mentally a lot.
Oh, massively. That's one of the biggest things I've
and it
heard,
can
especially
really hit 'em.
people.
And that's why people jump back on, because
Yeah.
they see a version of themselves that they are no longer at.
Yeah.
And
Funny enough,
they
Doc
can't
might be able to answer this. It's like having, if you remember your first comp, it's like having post-comp blues, post-steroid blues.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing, right? It's like, I looked like this for this period of time. This is what everyone knew me for. I was big, I was shredded. It's going to go
Yeah.
slowly. What does that mean for me? Yeah, so it's almost the same thing. It's called post-comp blues. So people that
post-comp
do
blues.
bodybuilding comps, so anyone that's on this, listen to this podcast, that's a first timer, you will get it. No matter how much you think you won't get it, it will happen. Yeah, it will happen. It happened to me, I think, even up to my second comp, honestly. Not as long, but you still have that, oh, fuck, my abs are slowly fading. I'm not as shredded.
And then you want to get straight back on the cart and try and get lean
people,
again. Yeah.
People do it all the time. Yeah, anyway. But yeah.
All right, well, boys, 2 more questions. I really like this one, and this one came from Josie, actually, from the gym. So what are your non-negotiable things for someone looking to get into the gym? So I'm talking like first time into a gym, never trained before, or maybe like dabbled in exercise but never really followed a program.
Yep.
The non-negotiable things. Now, coming kind of off the back of what we were just talking about is building habits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that's one of the most important things that you can do from the very get-go is like, okay, what habits have been letting me down?
Yep.
And what habits have gotten me to where I need help?
Yep.
Let's start working on those first. So is it, I just need to control my food portions? Let's just focus on like that thing first. Is it actually exercising and getting into the gym 3 days a week, 4 days a week for 4? What is it like? Is it increasing my steps? I think first non-negotiable is just building the habits around a healthy lifestyle. That for me is like the biggest one.
And one of the, and that's exactly my answer for that is, even someone that doesn't want to go to the gym, and I've used this kind of advice, even if you don't want to go to the gym, I want you to drive there.
Yeah.
Legit, I've said
Well, sometimes,
legit, just drive there. Even if you drove to the gym and you decided that you're going to turn back, you had the habit of getting there.
At least you got there.
100%.
Or even if you're going for 10 minutes and you did one exercise, like, fuck, I'm over this. Show up.
Yeah.
That, my non-negotiable is show up, because at some point you're already there. Fuck it, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
That's
even
the
if
thing,
you
it's like
build
the
that
hardest-
habit.
Yeah,
if
correct.
You,
It's
if
creating,
you sign up
yeah.
to a gym and you build a habit of going, like, all right, if you go, you didn't do anything, cool. But you'll eventually do, like, you'll do something.
You'll get there.
You'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
there eventually.
Yeah.
But if you don't go and you don't show up and you say you're going to show up and you put it off and now you're in the habit of delaying things.
Of putting, yeah.
Now you're
And
in the habit
I
of
think,
saying, tomorrow, like, I'll do it next time.
I think they've got to separate the feeling of the day and back to that discipline. How many times have you boys 100% would have felt there's like, fuck, I'm going to be able to train today.
Today.
Today was one of my days.
That's
I could not, I had leg day today. I was like, fuck, man, I'm so tired. I don't want to do this. Halfway through the session, I'm like, okay, that's
We
cool.
did all right.
Fuck.
Like, actually got it done.
Yeah. I was like, I feel good. Like, but that's probably the biggest thing is just show up. Just
Me
just
and,
make it happen.
because I train with Bobby and we have a joke. So we used to walk over to each other. We see each other. Like, how you feeling today? It's like, I feel like shit. It's like, I'll see you on Monday. So like we pretend to walk away. It's like, oh no, let's just start. You know what I mean? Like, start warming up. You get into it. Maybe the first 2 sets feel a bit heavy. You do an extra warm up set, whatever it is. But yeah, I think, and I mean, it's the old cliche. It's like discipline beats motivation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a big one. And I think as well, so if you're getting into the gym for the first time and you really don't know, so hire a coach.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like having that little bit of extra external motivation can really keep you going. You know,
But people won't. I don't think, well, when I say people won't, there's obviously people that get coaching. There's people there that would rather go and train for years
and not accomplish
and
anything.
not accomplish anything
Literally.
than go, either it's a pride thing or a financial thing, or they don't value coaching enough to go, I'm going to get benefit out of it. Yeah. And I've got a client, and Gav can attest to this. He started coaching with me in September. And he goes, every time he comes, he goes, bro, people just come and it's like, fuck, it looks so different. What are you doing? What are you running? Like,
Yeah.
what are you running now? Like, back to your point, but he's literally just like, we got him in a little bit of a
Well,
cut.
he's just consistent.
Yeah, consistent now, strong as an ox. Now I think his calories up to over 4K now. He's funny enough, he showed me a blood test before he started with me. His natural testosterone increased by like 25, 30%.
There you go.
Shit.
2 parts. Started training better, started eating better, and got overly strong. And I made him make sure he rested, like
Probably.
nutrition and
Yeah.
sleep, right? So it's I don't think people value it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they can just do it on their own, or they can watch some Instagram clip, or
Right.
you know. And how many times you see people come in and it's a Monday and it's a different workout every single Monday. Or you hear, my favorite one is you hear the guys in the gym that are training together. It's like they walk in the door and it's like, oh, what are we training today? Oh, let's do back. All right, cool. What are we doing first? All right, let's go to that one. Oh, what are we doing next? Like you got no plan. There's no, and then how do you track progressions and how do you monitor if you're doing better from week to week? And
they don't.
I know, and that's why they look the same ongoing.
Yeah, I think a non-negotiable, apart from everything you have said, is just some type of warm-up. So, like, if you're new to it,
next question.
just please do something
That's my
to
next
get your body warm, just to get ready for the. Fucking just wait. I don't care. Just do something.
something.
Just do something to get ready for the training you're
waiting
about
my
to do.
arms tomorrow.
Yeah.
Start doing these. Like just do something. Like someone will come in and be like, they'll go basically straight in, chest press. Oh man,
My shoulder hurts.
shoulder hurts. Oh, what'd you do for what? No.
Chest press.
Yeah. What'd you do?
My top set.
Julian's going to do really good at it.
Yeah, 100%. He's gonna do so well. He's gonna be so overbooked. Well, that's actually that guy who goes in my next question is like, does stretching matter, and is warming up over or underrated?
I think static stretching for weight training probably not really necessary.
No.
Like I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and stretch my quads out before I.
No. I'll warm up in the
Before I
movement.
do, yeah, I'd warm up
Yeah.
on something a bit more dynamic or a light version of an exercise. Like like on leg days, like my non-negotiable warm up or not even warm up. First exercise for me
but
or
you do-
clients is back extensions.
Yeah.
Warm up your hammies, warm up the glutes.
I actually do my my hip flexors because I get jacked up hip flexors.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't have to sit there and do that. Like that's not going to do anything for your weight session. Like, but like warm up, you really just do some
Yeah.
light rows.
Yeah.
Bit of like if you've got shoulder problems, rotate something.
Yeah.
But dynamic stretching for cardio, like for the cardio side of things, or
Sure.
sport related, obviously a bit more important
Yeah.
than the weightlifting or the powerlifting or just general training.
Yeah. I definitely think that warming up is underrated. Like people don't put as much emphasis on their warm-ups as they do in the actual training. Like they'll come in and whatever day it is, and it's like they're so focused on doing the lifting portion. It's like I won't spend less than 10, more than 10
They
minutes.
don't realize that if they warm up well, they lift.
Better. I know. And that's and
Way
try
better.
and it's like
Way
counter each other.
better.
And
Yeah.
and the hard part is sometimes like, oh, I've only got 45 minutes. I'm going to spend 10 minutes warming up. It's like, but what you get out of maybe that 30-minute session is probably going to be more beneficial than the 45 minutes of you
Yeah.
just kind of going in and hammering yourself.
Yeah.
The one time I will say, do I think stretching is important? I train a few older clients.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that, especially too, if they've been sitting at a desk, their office workers, their career people, getting them to do stretching can be really beneficial, either before the session, after the session. I think that can really help, especially too if people are really tight in particular movements. Like if I've got someone that is really, really struggles to, let's say, get into a deep squat, I will actually spend a bit of time or teaching them how to do some stretches that will really help open up their hips and then get them into the squat pattern. So they're not just lengthening the muscle and then doing nothing about it. It's like, okay, you've lengthened the muscle a little bit. We're obviously not going stupidly heavy. Like you're not doing adductor stretches and like lower back stretches and then going and putting a max weight on the bar because it's going to damage you. But it's like, okay, let's go move into some lighter movements and get those hips open more. I definitely think that can be beneficial. Even for my dad, like when I started training my dad, he couldn't get in a hamstring stretch, his hands past his knees. Doing static stretching with him every time he came in, he could touch his toes.
Yeah.
Now,
Perfect.
again, we strengthened his hammies and he actually was moving a lot better in the gym. But it was like that simple thing is like before you start your training, and static, maybe a bit more into dynamic, maybe.
Yeah.
But like it definitely helped him in his movements. And then even he's like, I feel so much better like at work, with my kids, picking them up off the ground, like it feels so much better. So I definitely think that stretching is important if you apply it correctly. And if you're super, super tight and you've got no range of motion, I think stretching can be beneficial, but you have to then work at the movements that you're stretching.
Yeah.
So it's no good.
Consistently, not just once.
It's no good like opening up your pecs and then not strengthening them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if you're going to stretch out your pecs before a chest day or a push day, go and then do something that stretches them. But just be careful on load selection if you're doing a lot of static stretching beforehand.
100%. Yeah.
Anything, Nad? No?
That
Good.
would.
Thanks, boys. Tips for this weekend? How do you think?
Para 13 plus.
Who are you playing?
Don't
It's
worry,
not 2009.
Doesn't matter. It's just
It's not 2009.
13 plus against anyone.
Okay. That's a good pick.
Tigers play the Sharkies.
Should get up.
You should get up in there.
Jeremy Lewis just signs with PNG. Everyone's G'd up. Everyone's excited.
Tigers should win.
Tiger should win.
12 plus,
You got
13 plus.
We have. Who do we have? Oh, we got Newcastle and Newcastle.
And Benji's going to score a triple.
Yeah, Benji's running out.
Yeah.
thanks.
Nah,
we got Ponga back. Oh, they got.
Do they?
They have Ponga back.
Yeah, great. I don't know.
They,
Newcastle's like, for me, it's a team that could go either way. Like, they're obviously sitting one spot ahead of us on the table, but you just don't know what Newcastle's going to turn up.
yeah, it's like the.
It's a 5 o'clock
Dogs,
game on a
maybe.
Saturday, so it's like it might be a bit warm. I don't know. They got beaten. They got pumped last week, so they might come back. But we also pumped the Storm last week, so we're riding a high.
Everyone's pumping this time.
Yeah, I know. Latrell Mitchell for another triple.
Except us.
Very good.
All right, boys. Well,
Thanks,
thank
man.
you. Thank you very much for coming in.
fun.
For everybody listening, thank you again for tuning into the podcast. Special quick shout out to the sponsors. So Catalyst Brewing, make sure if you're looking at a really good coffee brand, jump on them, use the code Dom and Josh for 20% off. And Precision Plumbing and Maintenance. Any plumbing issues that you may have, reach out to John, Precision Plumbing and Maintenance, and he'll sort you out. Again, boys, thanks for coming in, and see you on Monday.
See you then.